your vehicle is equipped with a locking lug nut, you're going to want to have it ready. Get it to fit on there. These are 19 millimeter. Take our breaker bar, loosen them up, about half a turn. Once you've loosened your lug nuts, raise and support your vehicle. We're going to use a lift for this, so it'll make it easier for you to see what we're doing. But you can do this on jack stands in your driveway. These are pretty loose now. I'm going to take my socket in my hand and undo them with my hands. And I'm doing the last one. Just make sure you've got hold of the wheel. It might come loose. This one came off pretty easy. To remove the rear sway bar link, there's a nut here at the bottom, and a nut here at the top. There is an Allen key in here to counterhold it once it's loose on both ends. There should also be a keyway behind here to hold it. I will start by spraying it with some rust penetrant. Spray both of them. I'll use a 14 millimeter socket and a breaker bar. Since this one doesn't have a keyway on the back to hold it, I'm going to put my 14 millimeter wrench on and use a 5 millimeter Allen key on the end of my breaker bar. Get it into the sway bar. The inside of this is stripped, which can often happen. And there's no keyway on the back of this to hold with a wrench. So I'm going to use some locking pliers. I'm going to break the top one free because this one is now stuck. So I'm trying to get the top one free and then pop it off the lower ball joint. Try to get it off that way. So the 5 millimeter part of this one is also stripped out. I was able to get some locking pliers in here. And I've got my 14 millimeter wrench. I'm going to keep spraying it with some rust penetrant. I'm going to work it back and forth to get the nut free because there's a lot of gunk on the threads. So just kind of go back and forth, and then slowly loosen it. As it starts to get tight, just kind of go back. I'm going to switch to a ratcheting 14 millimeter because we're getting pretty close. Got that one loose. So with this top one loose now, these sway bar links are basically just a ball joint. I'm just going to take it and just sort of like force it off. Now I can get in here. Once I take this rubber boot off, you can see the ball joint that's in there. Now I can get in there with some locking pliers and really grip on that and work on getting that bottom nut out. So I just popped it out of this socket here and took the boot off with it. The brake line in here, I'm going to hold it up against the spring. Take the 14 millimeter ratchet. Work it back and forth. I've finally got it loose. Take it off my fingers. We'll pull it out. Here's our old sway bar link from the vehicle. You can see it came apart as we were trying to remove it. That can happen. Boot was ripped. It doesn't have any way to counter hold this other than the Allen head key, which stripped on both ends. So I'd use some locking pliers on it and just work the nut back and forth to get it off. And then eventually when I got one side off, I just popped the other side out. That was the easiest way to remove it. As you can see, it's virtually identical to the new one from 1aauto.com. These are driver's side and passenger side specific, so you'll need to make sure you have the correct one for whichever side you're doing, or if you're doing both, just make sure that you use the correct one for the passenger side and the correct one for the driver's side, because they'll only fit one way. Comes with new nuts. You can see that Allen key socket to counter hold it. We'll use that when we're torquing it. Got a new sway bar link. Insert it in the bottom. Thread the nut on. Insert it in the upper part. This is the sway bar. Again, you can bend those a little bit if you have to. There's just a ball joint in there. You can move them around. Just gotta find the right spot. So our replacement nuts are 15mm. We use a 15mm ratcheting wrench and a 5mm Allen key to hold them. I'm going to work on the upper one. Again, put the Allen key in to counter hold it. And I'm just going to tighten this as tight as I can go. Reinstall the wheel. Thread the lug nuts on by hand. 19mm socket and ratchet. I'm going to snug these lug nuts. The torque wrench set to 80 foot-pounds. Torque your lug nuts in a star pattern.
Thanks for watching. Visit us at 1aauto.com for quality auto parts, fast and free shipping, and the best customer service in the industry.